We need common sense gun reform. Get rid of assault rifles. It's very hard to feel safe now because it's like a war zone.
When we greeted him, he pulled out a gun, aimed directly at me, and began shooting.
On Valentine's Day, Quintez Brown tried to shoot a Democrat politician. And now, the shooter has been bailed out of jail by his fellow BLM members.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Brown is a Black Lives Matter member and anti-gun activist who appeared on MSNBC in 2018 to promote what he called common sense gun reform. In the interview, he also claimed that students feel like they are in a war zone. During the turmoil of 2020, Black Lives Matter became a household name. You probably remember the frequent protests and riots. The racially focused activism group became famous again in 2021 after the revelation that their founder bought millions of dollars worth of real estate. But now, the shooting by Quintez Brown has put BLM back in the spotlight. In an apparent reaction to the shooting and murky finances of BLM, Amazon removed the organization from its charity platform, Amazon Smiles. It was just a short time ago that Amazon publicly donated $10 million to BLM. The company now says that the group has failed to represent itself as a charity in good standing. BLM has hidden the record of how they spend millions of dollars. BLM is also out of compliance with several states, including California, Washington, New Jersey, and Virginia. Craig Greenberg, the candidate who was shot, reacted to the shooting by criticizing the bail system that allowed Brown to go free so quickly. Greenberg is a Democrat who is running for the mayor of Louisville, Kentucky. According to him, the BLM activist walked into his campaign headquarters, greeted the campaign team, and started shooting. The candidate said that his team was shaken, but safe. Fortunately, no one was injured, but police confirmed that a bullet grazed the sweater of the candidate, narrowly missing him.
When we greeted him, he pulled out a gun, aimed directly at me, and began shooting. The individual closest to the door managed to bravely get the door shut. We barricaded the door, and the suspect fled.
As it turns out, Quintez Brown, at only 21 years old, is also a political candidate in Louisville. He's running for the Louisville Metro Council. Brown is a self-proclaimed racial justice activist, and the quote at the top of his Twitter profile describes the total liberation and unification of Africa under scientific socialism. Days before the shooting, Brown met with the Lion of Judah Armed Forces. They're a Black nationalist militia group who has used the chant, "A limb for a limb, a life for a life." Brown appeared to encourage his followers on Instagram to join the group, which believes that Black people are the chosen people of God, not the Jews. The man Quintez Brown tried to shoot is Jewish. Before the shooting, Greenberg's platform included hiring more police officers to manage rising crime rates. It's possible that his political platform of increasing police presence in Louisville upset the shooter. Brown previously wrote an article in which he called Louisville's huge police budget the real boogeyman traumatizing Black people. Brown was an intern and editorial columnist for the news outlet that carried the article. He also studied philosophy and Pan-Africanism at the University of Louisville. One of Brown's professors wrote an opinion article saying he was shocked that Quintez would shoot someone. After the shooting, Brown was charged with attempted murder and 4 counts of wanton endangerment. His bail was set at $100,000 when he was taken into custody, but the BLM Louisville group put down the money almost immediately after he was jailed. A reporter for a local news station confirmed that BLM Louisville was, quote, heading to the bank to get a cashier's check to pay the bail. Later, the reporter filmed the bail getting paid by Louisville Community Bail Fund, a creation of BLM Louisville. The activist at the clerk's office was wearing a Free Angela shirt, referring to Dr. Angela Davis, an avowed communist and college professor who was at one point wanted by the FBI for her alleged involvement in a 1970 kidnapping plot that left 4 people dead. Craig Greenberg, meanwhile, condemned the broken criminal justice system that allowed Brown to be released after the alleged attempted murder. His statement said, "It is nearly impossible to believe that someone can attempt a murder on Monday and walk out of jail on Wednesday. Sadly, like others who suffer from a broken system, my team and family have been traumatized again by this news." Ending bail has been a part of BLM's platform, and Vice President Kamala Harris was widely criticized for promoting a fundraiser to bail out violent rioters in Minneapolis in 2020. The Washington Post reported that the fund helped people accused of murder, attempted murder, and kidnapping. At least one person aided by the fund went on to be charged with more violent crimes. When Black Lives Matter came onto the scene, there was a lot of pressure to publicly support its mission. Millions of Americans posted black squares on Instagram in solidarity with BLM in 2020. And one message was pushed out everywhere: silence is violence.
Silence is violence! Silence is violence!
No one was allowed to disagree with the political platform of BLM. Now, that's changing. Since a peak in 2020, BLM has seen a double-digit decline in support. But with the virtue signaling, radical policies, and now political violence, it looks like the public's patience is growing even thinner.